Hello, everybody. Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 16 here to preview and predict the outcome on Louisiana Tech's trip to LSU. That is 6:30 Central on Saturday on the Plus. So you gotta pull up the ESPN app for this one. Blake, what have we got on totals, lines, and stuff over at FanDuel here?
Well, here's where we're at over at FanDuel. LSU is a 37.5 point favorite with our friends there at FanDuel. Over under is at 51.5. So that should tell you a little bit about kind of the projection there for how this game should go. We know LSU is getting all the love, as they should, coming out of that big win at Clemson with the Tigers, just moving up to number 3 in the poll. And Chris, it's sort of one of those where you come back, season opener at home against a Louisiana Tech team that I'd love to tell you where they were picked in the preseason poll, but Conference USA said, I don't think so. We're not doing a preseason poll this year. I'd love to know how that came to be, but Phil still has Louisiana Tech as his number 2 team in Conference USA behind Liberty. So that's worth noting. I don't think this is a bad team at all heading into this one, and we'll get into some other stuff on that. But as usual, this is kind of more about the SEC team as a big 37.5 point favorite here.
Yeah, the predicted model I put together has got LSU by about 34, so same range here. Look, Tech has had some pretty decent football teams over the last few decades. It's coached by Sonny Cumbie. It is picked second of 12 teams at Phil Steele, although Conference USA is really down. I could argue it's maybe the worst conference of the 9 within the FCS this year. But good opener for Tech. It beat Southeastern Louisiana 24-0, despite being outgained 271 to 263. I think it won the turnover battle 3-0 and maybe had a long punt return or kickoff return in there, Blake.
I think that's right. We've been looking at so many games this morning. There's somewhere somebody returned a fumble for 80 yards. I hope it was Louisiana Tech, because if it wasn't, go find one of the other previews we did, because somebody did. I promise you. An SEC opponent this week returned a kickoff for 80 yards. Yes, boom, got it. It's right one. Cam Franklin, 80-yard fumble return, touchdown. So we got the right one here.
That's why we pay you the big bucks. Well, hey, I think this game for LSU, it's about a lot of things. I mean, you want to win the game, obviously. You want to win it decisively. I think, to me, stay healthy is one thing. You could say that for a lot of teams. I think experience at your tackle spots, get your quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, who I think might be the best player in the country, but he's going to need to stay upright all year. That's a tough assignment for them, breaking in 2 new offensive tackles at Clemson last week. But, of course, LSU answered the bell there in an upset win at Clemson. I think that's one thing I'm looking for, because, man, they have got some playmakers at receiver. And I don't know that we talked a lot about Trey'Dez Green, but, man, he really showed out at Clemson. This team is just loaded with playmakers everywhere. Caden Durham in the backfield. You got Barry and Brown as a reserve receiver on the team, I think. I don't think he started. Like, this is a team that just got dudes everywhere and anywhere that can run by you. And you'd like to see LSU put on a little bit of a highlight reel here, which it is more than capable of doing.
Well, and I think, we always do this, I feel like, in the preseason. We love to talk about the offense and how there's all kinds of guys that can make plays, and we knew that on this team. And, I mean, that's been the story with LSU for years. It's just sort of, hey, I mean, they have no issues trying to figure out what they're going to do on offense, because they have enough dudes out there that can simply, again, make sort of game-changing plays at any time. But, I mean, Chris, like, if there were people that were down on LSU coming to the season, it was all about what are we going to see with the defense. And, again, I mean, it's like they're one game to go on the road in an environment like that, and to see a team that, again, made some big stops, held Clemson to, 261 in terms of total yards, 31 yards rushing on 20 attempts. And I look at it from that standpoint. If you're Brian Kelly, and I'm sure we could probably find a quote or two here where it's like the things that he's looking for in a game like this are probably just simply, and by the way, too, if you watch the Netflix documentary, like, you can see how he approaches this thing. Like, it's sort of, as most coaches do, it's like consistency. You just want to be able to kind of keep that consistency going no matter the opponent, right? Whether you're on the road at Clemson or you're a 30-something-and-a-half point favorite against Louisiana Tech. You want to keep that sort of rhythm going and that momentum to keep you driving forward. And I think that's especially the case on defense, because that was, as we said, one of the things coming into the season, that if people were going to pick apart LSU, they wanted to see sort of that drastic step forward in that department. And it's one game, but I think you'll be just fine going on the road against the top 5 team, only giving up 10 points, and now returning home for what should be a pretty comfortable win for LSU.
Well, and I just spent all this time talking about these dynamic playmakers that LSU's got all over the place. It was kind of an un-LSU like box score last week in a way. I mean, LSU had, 356 yards of total offense on 25 first downs. So that's indicative of an offense that just kept the chains moving, held the ball for over 37 minutes, which helps your defense. And the defense, look, I didn't understand some of the slander that was getting thrown LSU's way. Every time we did a video to talk about them, and people say, the defense is garbage. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You got a healthy Harold Perkins. You got Whit Weeks. You got some dudes in the trenches. You got some budding defensive backs who look like they can play, one of whom in Delane, who showed up and maybe was – I didn't see what the conference did on Monday with Defensive Player of the Week, but he should have been in consideration. Blake Baker, man, he's one of the best coordinators in the business. In year 2, I just thought, hey, people who are knocking them and not taking their defense seriously, I didn't feel like we're paying attention. And, man, that showed up in week 1, because I know not having Antonio Williams did hurt Clemson, but Cade Klubnik is a potential first-round quarterback. You're playing on the road. I mean, giving up 261 to Clemson, I just thought, like, if you got questions about LSU's defense, I hope you watched that one, because to me that gave me some answers.
Yeah, well, and I think that's what it comes down to, especially in a matchup like this one where LSU should handle their business. It's simply, can you kind of keep the foot on the gas defensively, to me, is sort of the big thing, because again, offensively for Louisiana Tech, it's hard to tell one game in. They're starting a new quarterback. I think Evan Bullock, who was the guy that was, freshman last year, played a lot. He did not get the start in game 1 against Southeast Louisiana. And you said it was 24-0 that game was, but it was 3-0 at halftime. So I'm curious to hear from Louisiana Tech fans. Of course, we're an SEC channel. We don't get a chance to watch every game in the country, but I'm curious to kind of hear from them. Like, what was the story there? If you're watching this video, let us know in the comments. Kind of curious to know how that played out. And like we said, the defense is one of the reasons why they scored in that game on that long touchdown return. So I think that's where, if you're LSU's defense here, it's a favorable matchup. I think that's easy to say. And it's just about, can Louisiana Tech get enough big plays? And that's something where LSU didn't really allow that kind of big play ability that we've seen in the past, right? Last week, we didn't see some of those things kind of rear its ugly head the way it had previously. So I think that's kind of the, going to be the story of this game. And we'll get into making our picks here shortly, Chris. Let's tell people quickly about our friends over at GameTime Sidekicks. GameTimeSidekicks.com, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware. All SEC schools are there, over 350 more universities as well. Get your LSU National Championship cups in baseball if you want those things. A hot seller over there, I'm sure. Stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, and shaker cups. SE16 for 20% discount to our viewers. Plus, you get a discount over at ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting, phone case accessories, golf accessories. They got it all at ROKFORM. SEC25 for 25% off. SEC25, 25% off. And our new friends over at HOVI Dried Goods, your new favorite hat. And boy, LSU fans, they sent me an LSU hat. And if I was better prepared, I would have it on my desk right now to be able to hold up and show it to you. But trust me, it's good. And the next LSU video we do, I'll hold it up for you. But you can look no further than HOVI hats for high-quality headwear with great fit and unique designs. Promo code coming soon for our friends over at HOVI Dried Goods. And if you happen to be an LSU fan and you want to get in on dissing Alabama, they are our bad beat team of the week over there. 15% off all Alabama gear, which I don't imagine many LSU fans are buying right now, Chris, but you never know these days, I suppose.
You never know. Well, let's get to picks. Sometimes spot is a big thing. And this feels like a little bit of a letdown spot for LSU. Not that I'm going to pick LSU to lose the game, okay? I think this team is really good. My feeling on LSU was there were 4 playoff teams in the SEC coming into the season, and I had LSU as the 4th of those 4. Had some questions about the offensive line, but believed enough in the other parts. And boy, there's no way you could come out of that Clemson game feeling anything but better about LSU, given the way that game went down. So I'm a believer in LSU, but I'm looking here at the schedule. You come off a big road game. Now, it is your home opener, so maybe that puts a little juice in the building. We know about Tiger Stadium at night, which this is one of those things. But I don't know if you look forward to next week, Blake. Rematch with Florida next week. So I do worry a little bit about a letdown for LSU in this spot because that just happens to a lot of teams. It's human nature. I like them to win, but I do think there's some elements here that could make it a little bit more sluggish than maybe you would hope.
Well, I'll give you some numbers to support that. So Louisiana Tech is 7-4 against the spread against SEC teams since 2012 per Field Steel. So they've been able to cover the spread there. Again, it's a pretty high number here, 37.5. But some other things too. Louisiana Tech, one of their biggest strengths, if you look at all the stuff out there going into the season, it's going to be their defense. They were number 1 in the conference last year, 12th in the nation, allowing 308 yards, 21 points per game. Lost some top guys, as you would expect, but still, I think their secondary, when you look at kind of the the preseason prognostications out there, that's a big strength. So could you see them make some plays that maybe, like you said, LSU doesn't come out completely focused for a game like this, a little bit of that hangover effect? It's possible, but as you said, we're both going to pick LSU to win here. But these are just the kind of games that, I don't know if there's going to be a ton you can take away from it unless it is one of those where this is just a competitive game, for multiple quarters, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh boy. Or do we just say, it's just kind of, that's going to happen after you go on the road and do that? Brian Kelly won't be happy about it if it does, but could you have the look ahead coming off a big, opener win like that to start the season? And here's the thing, Chris. When's the last time we've seen LSU in this position? And the Brian Kelly era. I'm drawing a complete
blank.
You know what I mean? When's the last time we've said LSU starts the season with a big win, then all of a sudden has to turn around and play a game like this? We haven't, not used to it in the Brian Kelly era. So it's again, a unique situation just from that regard, but nonetheless, fully expect LSU to take care of business here, and should be a nice win for the folks there in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, hope you guys watching will make us your home for SEC content. We do football, baseball, and basketball year-round. All 3 sports we cover with a passion. Should we tell LSU fans what we got? Are we ready to unveil that yet?
LSU fans, here's the thing. Before we do that, I'm going to tell you, don't forget, head over to FanDuel. Get on the action over there. Have fun. Bet responsibly. You can bet on this game, all the others this week. Tremendous. Our title sponsor, FanDuel. But, LSU fans, an interview is coming. Actually, I think it's either going up today, Wednesday if you're watching this, or Thursday. One of the two. Chris, I hear that LSU, as I said earlier, won a national championship in baseball this past season. And I hear that they had a coach for that team. They didn't do it. It wasn't just one of those player things. It wasn't like where the players just coached the team. They actually had a coach who coached them to a national championship, from what I remember.
Yeah, his name is Jay Johnson, and he gave us a terrific interview. It's a long one, but you'll want to hear every minute of it. Really enjoyed that. I think our LSU fans at the channel will too. So watch for that to come either September the 3rd or 4th. We'll have that coming up at our channel.
LSU fans.
LSU
here's
fans.
What we'll do
what
for
did
you.
I say?
No, you said LSU fans, but here's what we're going to do. At the end of this video, we're going to put it on the screen for you. So you will see the link to that video at the end of the screen here. So keep watching. Keep watching till the end. You're going to get the link to the interview. That way, whenever it goes up, no matter when you're watching, you'll have the link ready to go.
Yeah, leave us an Easter egg, too, if you get this far. Just type in J or something like that and let us know. And seriously, do watch the video. You'll enjoy it. So anyway, for Blake Lovell, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching our preview of Louisiana Tech and LSU here at Southeastern 16. Thank you for watching. God bless you. We'll see you again soon.